the most finishes in female MMA history. Do you know this?
Ooh.
How good this Canadian-born fighter is? Fighting maybe soon in an arena near you. I don't know if we can say that yet. But the one and only Gillian the Savage Robertson. What's up, G?
I just popped in at the perfect time.
You did.
You did. G, I know you go to a couple combat night shows down there. Have you seen Michael Mariah fight yet? Their champ?
No, I have not. I haven't been to too many recently. I met them here and there with the combat night shows. I always like to show them love. I'm like,
yeah.
They were my first amateur fight ever. So, in a lot of my amateur fights. So I'm like, you always got to give some love to the hometown, you know?
For sure. I saw this comment earlier and we had so many other comments and we had a great conversation with John. So I have to put this back up. Dude, look at Fight Finesse is top tier. These organic conversations. Please don't ever, he did say it after this. He goes, lose touch of the culture. You guys been watching since damn near one. Shout out Cody Barnes. Thank you. So what's up, G? How's life? How's everything going in your world?
I guess things are going all right. And we're, I guess, still in the same kind of spot. I've got the offer, no 100% confirmation. I think this one's a little bit more solid, though. The last one I can not understand, but understand why she could say no. Where this one, I feel like there's less reasons for her to say no. It's a good opportunity and, potentially a title contender fight. So
that literally, you know me, I always have my notes for you. That was the top thing I had. Since we've talked, there's now not a champion in your division. So that's first and foremost. Zhang Weili vacated her championship. She's moving up to flyweight, which I will definitely talk to you about that. But they did make a strawweight championship even before that fight. One Mackenzie Dern. It's so funny. You and I have been talking so much. We have put this out there in the universe. We have manifested a Gillian Robertson, Mackenzie Dern fight. And it seems like after Dern and Verna, Verna's probably going to be the betting favorite, I would assume, in this fight, to be brutally honest. But they won't need a challenger after that fight, and they fight sooner. They fight in October. I would think early spring they will need their first challenger. So they need another fight. They need someone else to fight someone else that might be the new number one contender. In my eyes, does that make perfect sense?
And with these two grapplers fighting each other, it only makes sense that the best grappler in the division has to be the first challenger.
I like that. Cut that up. So when you saw that news, we've kind of talked about it. It's been rumored. I think a week beforehand, I messaged you. I'm like, hey, I'm hearing this. Are you hearing the same thing? First of all, let's start with the champ. What do you think about Weili dropping her championship and moving up against Valentina? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I feel like these have all kind of just been like rumors that have been going around for a while that finally came to fruition. But honestly, I think that I don't understand the whole champ thing a lot of the times. This is another one of those situations where I'm like, I don't think you've cleaned out the division enough to say that like I want to move up. Honestly, I think it's the easier fight to move up, personally. I'm like, the way Valentina's been looking her last two fights, she hasn't been looking like the fastest, the best. She's been looking a little bit older, fighting a little like very safe, very smart, but fighting very safe. Where I'm like, I think that like a Virna or a Mackenzie Dern would give Weili more problems than a Valentina would at this moment, just where she's at in her career. So I'm like, I don't know. It seems like a safer move than like to actually take out more contenders in your own division. Yeah.
It's funny. Shout out Destiny. She totally agrees with you. I agree with half of what you said, and then I love it. I love when you and I disagree because we usually don't. I feel like on the same, especially fighting page. I totally agree with the champion should stay in their division until they clean it out. Probably even twice. I kind of sometimes, I don't know about you. I don't mind really high-end cool rematches. I think it's fun. It's different, especially when you see a fighter grow and get exponentially better in the rematch and kind of see it. I think that's good for mixed martial arts and good for the poster. So I think Weili did have some more stuff to do as a strawweight. So I agree with you there for sure. I disagree on the Valentina thing. I've been hearing this a lot. Everyone's picking Weili. I got Valentina in this spot. I think Valentina is first and foremost, the bigger person, the bigger woman. She will be the bigger fighter, I believe, on fight night as well. And also, like, I think one of Weili's kind of little secret sauce was her championship experience and her being a champion. no one's been more of a female champion than Valentina Shevchenko. So like, to me, you lose that aspect of it. And I think we've seen Valentina move up. It didn't work against Amanda. I feel this is the Weili to that. I think she's going to be a really good mixed martial artist. I don't see her as being the champion as a flyweight. That's just me, though. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I'm Team Shevchenko over here.
Woo! We got 2. There's 2 of us.
I've been a long-time Shevchenko fan, but I think that I do agree with you, G, about how you say that she plays a little bit safer. But I think that's what's helping her win as of recently, because who was it that she lost to? Alexa Grasso?
Yeah.
I feel like it was just a little bit wild, and that kind of took her out of her safe space to get the win. But I don't know. I think we're going to see. I think it's a good matchup. I just think that Shevchenko is bigger, and she is so much more experienced, and especially fighting for the belt, like, I don't know. I just think I think she's got the upper hand a little bit.
I'm not necessarily saying that I think that Shevchenko and that Weili is going to win that matchup, but I do believe that like Virna stylistically is a harder matchup for Weili right now. To have a top heavy grappler who's capable of getting takedowns, who's capable of going for submissions. I feel like those are Weili's weaker spots. Where it's like if Valentina winning this fight is probably going to look for a takedown and hold her, I'm assuming.
Right. No, I don't disagree with that. So I think one question, of course, leads into another, and just kind of hearing some of your thoughts. So I think I know who you're going to say this one. So the month before the Weili and Valentina fight happens in October for the vacated strawweight champion, to me, it's the Savage Championship. They're just fighting for it right now. It is what it is. It's the Savage Championship. You know that. Who do you have winning your belt in October? Do you have Mackenzie Dern or do you have Virna?
They already fought once before, right?
No, haven't fought.
Are you sure?
Ooh.
I
love this.
That's a good question. I don't think
it's usually I put G on the spot. I like this. I'm getting there.
To say that they fought once before.
Mackenzie Dern, 15-5, 10-5 in the UFC. Her losses: Lemos, Andrade, Jan, Marina Rodriguez. She did fight Virna before and won. Gillian Robertson. Dude.
Look at this.
We got punched for a living. So they fought in December of 2020, UFC 256.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you said Mackenzie had won that one?
Yeah, Mackenzie won.
I want to go back and watch that because I'm definitely almost interested in how Mackenzie won. Right now, just like going off their styles, I would see Virna winning the match. So I'm like, I want to go back and watch. I think that Dern just doesn't have strong enough wrestling, or even her top jiu-jitsu seems kind of like, she plays that game very safe. When she's on bottom, she's attacking. She's looking for submission. She's dangerous when she's on the bottom, which is maybe like the situations that gave Virna the issues where Virna's very top heavy, taking her down. Mackenzie feels very comfortable on her back. So I don't know. I would definitely want to see how it played out the first time.
Yeah.
But I'm probably siding Virna a little bit on this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm with you.
Lee, I want you to please take the next one. I want to show this comment because you know me, guys. I'm in this space. I look at everything. I watch everything, see every comment. I'm always trying to find content for Fight Bananas. And I've been seeing a ton of this. I really want to ask a top strawweight on this planet what you think when you see this. And I would assume, G, you've seen the same thing. What do you say when you see Dana is praying for Dern to win? Like, what does that mean, or what do you take when you hear or see that?
Oh no, that's all I've thought about this. Is I'm like, they want Dern to be champion. She's marketable. Virna's not necessarily, she's not a personality. I think she has I want to say 40 to 50K followers on Instagram, where it's not a lot, where it's like, you don't have a lot of eyes on her. She doesn't have necessarily the most exciting fighting style either, where I'm like, Mackenzie Dern has 1 million plus followers on Instagram. She's going to bring the eyes to the fight. There's going to be attention on it because of her. That's where they want the belt to go. It's like, Dana's definitely praying for it.
and this is why Jillian's middle name is Savage, by the way. Your boy, sorry, has only 37,000 Instagram followers. So sorry, G. Okay. I'm trying to grow one day. Be like, when I grow up, I want to be like Gillian Robertson or Mackenzie Dern. Okay. I'm trying.
I'm not even saying that I have a crazy amount, but the numbers make a huge difference in this game. It's an entertainment business. So I'm like, they will 100% make these calls based off of what they see on Instagram.
Yeah. Did you see that Corey Anderson said that? Like, he's like, hey, he won a fight that he should have been the number one contender. And they told him, you know, who knows, whatever is true or not. But the UFC told him, like, no, your Instagram isn't good enough for you to fight for the championship. That's what Corey Anderson said. Pretty crazy if that's true.
Well, like, you see guys like Bilal Muhammad, who doesn't have like the necessarily like best personality or best, like, most exciting fighting style, who has to fight, what was it, like 10 times before he got his title shot opportunity. It's like where Paddy Pimblett, they're in talks of him fighting for the title now, where he's nowhere near deserving it. It's just, it is such an entertainment business.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about who gets the most attention.
What'd you say?
I said it's all about who gets the most attention.
Yeah. Yeah. For better or for worse, you know. I sometimes I do, and I maybe Jillian will crap on this. I don't mind the Paddy thing. It's weird. I think he's won, and I also think him versus Ilya is like special, and you never know if you're going to get that, because if Paddy does fight a top 5 guy, he probably or might even lose that, and you'll never get this Paddy Ilya thing. I kind of want to see that. I'm sorry. There's sometimes I agree. I'm like, there's no way I think Bilal should get it or whoever. But you know, I like the Paddy Ilya thing. I do. I
really think, like, it's so rare to find that combination where it is like where you do have the Ronda Rouseys and the Conor McGregors. There's a reason why they have like really transcended MMA, that they've become like, anytime I meet a casual on the street, they're asking me if I'm going to fight Ronda Rousey or if I know Conor McGregor. Those are the only 2 questions, you know? But it's a reason, because these people were phenomenal fighters and they were phenomenal personalities that just caught on. And it's just, to have something like that is so special.
Yeah.
For sure.
Gee, are you locked in training right now?
I guess kind of. We're getting there. We're still a long time out of the debatable date, so we're waiting.
I got you. Sorry, I had to be nosy.
I saw on your IG stories. I saw it's a family affair in that octagon down there in South Florida. I saw it looked like a good session this morning or this afternoon, I believe.
Oh yeah. It was. Obviously, you saw Shorty came down. Jose Shorty Torres. We had Nick Deline, Glow, and Dean are there. Majority of the time, Glow and I are there every morning. Dean and Nick come in and out, but Dean's actually headed off to France tomorrow morning. So I'm like, we're always losing him because of the UFC. You know, acting like that's more important.
I know.
You know, come on.
Jillian or the UFC? Come on, Dean. Come on, Dean. Man. Did you talk to Dean about this weekend's card? Is there anything that he's very looking forward to? Or I would assume that in that main event is definitely on everyone's mind of what's going to happen this weekend.
Oh yeah, that co-main event's on my mind.
Oh, in fact,
I honestly think that it's going to be an easier fight for Rufy, but I don't think that Benoit's going to go down. Rufy's going to be able to find his shots. I feel like Rufy's going to be able to pick him apart, but Benoit's going to try to fight his hardest. He's going to be walking forward. It's going to be a firefight, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. So you're leaning at least one half of the Fighting Nerds getting the win in that co-main event. How about the main event? Is it going to be a sweep by the Fighting Nerds?
I'm always leaning Fighting Nerds, I think, man. I'm such like a huge fan of their team and what they're doing. So I'm like, I think I'm always leaning that way right now.
I like it. I cannot wait. It's funny. I go back and forth. I think Imamov is just really underrated. So in that main event, I think I'm rooting for Kaio. I think he's more of a better character for our space, and if he wins, I would assume he's in the main event against Chimaev in the future. I think that would be fun. Like that, the hype for that fight will be a good one for sure. But I will say this. I think Imamov is really underrated. And if you told me if I had to bet money on the fight, I think I'm picking Imamov. I think I am, especially being in Paris and in the main event. I think I got Imavov.
No, I think I agree with you on that one.
Okay.
I think that I'm biasly picking Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm like 100% biased there. But
Yeah.
I think that Imavov does provide him some challenges. But that being said, the thing that I love about the Fighting Nerds is that they just game plan so well and are good at picking apart these challenges, finding where this person is strong and figuring out how they need to approach that in the right game plan, which you really see in so many fighters. They just go out there and they fight. They don't necessarily have a specific game plan they've been drilling their whole camp. They're just fighting their hardest. Where when you do have a game plan, you can really see what the Fighting Nerds have done, how easy it is to get to the finishes.
Yeah. Fighting Nerds, that's what they've got, that guy on their team that does all the science and, watches all of the videos and playbacks to kind of give them those game plans. I mean, it's kind of genius,
I think that's definitely a next. I feel like us as our fans, but MMA fighters are always evolving. I think there's always stuff that happens. And I think that is another step for mixed martial artists is to Laron Murphy had a good interview talking about this. He goes, I and my team watch a ton of tape. Like we watch so much tape. Let's be honest. I can only assume, and I do the same things over and over again, but if I'm kind of doing something for my life's on the line, like something really bad's about to happen, I probably have a go-to thing, right? Like a lot of people have when they're like their last breath is on the line, whatever, I'm throwing a jab or I'm a check hook, whatever that means, whatever that does. So I bet you Laron Murphy's like, hey, when Volkanovski's in danger, when he feels like he's getting in that phone booth and stuff isn't going good, I bet you Volk has this same thing he does over and over and over again. And I bet you Laron Murphy's seeing that. So in the fight's like, hey, I know when I'm winning and about to put him away, he's going to throw a spinning back fist. And maybe Laron Murphy knows to go against, right? Like, does that make sense, G? Am I onto something?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. Because like at the same time, I feel like you can't be like waiting for something to happen. So, but I guess you can also base that off film study too. So a lot of times I'm watching film and I'll see how much they do fight, how far apart those fights are, how if they are improving in between those fights. Sometimes you see the fighter, they look like the same fighter over and over and over again. And you can kind of expect, okay, I'm probably going to get a similar style. But some fighters, they're young and upcoming and growing, and you get a different fighter every single fight. So for you to go out there and expect something that's going to happen, sometimes you can almost screw yourself, because then you're sitting there in that frozen moment of like, all right, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And if it never happens for those 15 minutes, then it can throw you out of your own game.
Yeah.
Good point.
I was going to say, even for me, when I fought Luana Pinheiro, I'm like, the whole time I expected her to be running at me and throwing a lot of like big looping punches, because that's all she ever does in her fights. And she was backing up the whole time and looking to throw uppercuts because she was scared of my takedown. So I'm like, She brought a completely different fight to the game just because of like what I brought to the table too.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Really good point. When Dana White, it was last week, it was Thursday or Friday when he made some of these announcements that we're talking about, the Verna Dern and Whaley and Valentina. He also, two things I definitely want your 2 cents in. One, made Jack Della Maddalena and Islam official. Probably the biggest rumor that I think everyone in this space knew, it just wasn't official yet, but UFC 322 in New York City, MSG, that's the main event. Islam, maybe one of the greatest, if not the greatest lightweight of all time, moves up to welterweight. Will he defeat Jack Della Maddalena for the welterweight championship, Gillian Robertson?
I don't know. Obviously, Islam is the killer that he is, but I really like what Craig Jones has been doing with these Aussie boys. I think they have really good options to handle wrestling, where they're mixing it up with jiu-jitsu options, which it's just very unique and innovative on their part, where you don't really see a lot of people. I guess like Jack's like almost like he's willing to go to his back and willing to take more risks because he's more confident in these positions now, and he's making more space for himself going for submissions, things like that. It's just he's taking a completely different approach where it's unique, and I really like it. So I'm gonna side with JDM, but I don't know if that's a bias siding either, because I think it might be a little bit.
Okay. I had one more question about Dana, but this is something that Jake Nichols brought up. They go, quick one, UFC's new deal. If fighters are under multiple fight deals, will their money increase?
I guess they always have under the deals, typically speaking, and like you'll negotiate a deal for, I don't know, say like 50 and 50, but it'll go up 5,000 if you win. So I'm like, typically, I guess in between fights, your money does increase. And especially if you're doing well, then obviously you can renegotiate as well.
Sure. So the last one for me that Dana said, he's like, yeah, like Donald Trump went on air and said, hey, we're doing July 4th, 2026. You know, it's our, I think, 250th anniversary of America. We're going to have a UFC fight. And us and the media went crazy with it. Multiple posts that made all of our probably in similar companies money over and over again. But like, was it 100% true? Was it not? Dana's like, yeah, we're working on it. But Dana, part of that announcement goes, yes, I was at the White House. This is 100% happening. Like, this is a done deal. July 4th, 2026, fight at the White House. Two things for you, G. One, how crazy and amazing that is. And then two is, will Gillian Robertson try to fight on that card? Canadian-born Gillian Robertson fight on that card?
Will Gillian Robertson win her belt on that card is the question.
Dude, Dern versus Robertson at the White House?
Maybe a thing. But speak it into the universe now.
Wait. Universe!
Yeah.
Dern Robertson, White House 2026. I like it. It's out there.
I'm like, I'm not complaining with that. I think that sounds good to me. What better place to win your belt?
Oh my goodness. I know I'm one of those people. I think they're going to delay Amanda and Kayla Harrison. I think she is right now the only American-born world champion. I think Kayla versus Amanda is going to be on that card. So we can have two female world championship fights on the main card. I like it, G. I like it. And then if I say that, who headlines the card? This is a fun debate. I don't even know the answer. Like, I really don't know, because you think it's going to be an American, but there's just not an American name. The biggest one we say is maybe Sugar Sean O'Malley. Like, I think, right?
I really have no idea, honestly. I was talking to somebody about this in the gym the other day. I'm like, Americans and Brazilians used to dominate.
I know. We stink now.
Yeah.
Both of them, though. Even Brazilians, I'm like, they've got like Pantoja, and I think I want to say that's it. Maybe they don't really have a lot of champions anymore either. I'm like, I don't know. It's so crazy to see the aspect of the landscape of the sport just change completely within the last like 10, 15 years. And I really couldn't tell you who I think is going to be the headline for. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if someone like Sean Strickland would be a co-main event or something. You know, he's just someone who is very, very pro-American. So I could see something like that, but I don't know. I would have no idea who could be the main event.
Yeah.
I could see John Jones, maybe, possibly like a sliver of a hair trying to, maybe. I don't know.
And Leah, I don't think you're wrong with that. And it's definitely out there. And John wants to. And I think it's a weird way that the UFC and Dana White can be like, hey, John, if you want this fight, we got Tom Aspinall as our heavyweight champion. Like, this is it. Like, we'll give you the White House, but you got to give us this fight that we've all been wanting for. So I can see that. But the only thing, and I think Dana's kind of hinted at this, how can you trust in especially John Jones and Conor McGregor when they've kind of both of them have done you wrong previously over and over and over again? Like, how can you trust them with the White House? Like, I feel like we're going to get Volkanovski, or we're going to get someone it's like who would definitely not, let you down, will always show up. Ilya's never really got out of a fight. Like, I know it sounds bad. I know they're not American, but Ilya versus Patty, like, I think that's a really ginormous main event. I know it's not American at all, but if there's other Americans on the card, like you said, Sean Strickland type, Colby Covington type, I think we'll get enough of that in us. I don't know. It's crazy. I really don't know who's going to main event.
No, because even when he's like, I'm like, I don't see Sean O'Malley as the main event of this card I don't know, the White House card. It just doesn't seem.
It's not fitting.
Yeah, and then like, I think that if he did follow up, if he did say like John already defended his shot against Aspinall, I think he would be perfect for the spot. You know,
Right.
I'm
Right.
like the greatest mixed martial
Yes.
artist of all time, arguably, and like an American champ, heavyweight champ, the biggest
Yeah.
division. I'm like, he would have been perfect for the spot, but he makes himself so unreliable
Right.
that there's just no way you can give him that opportunity.
Yeah. And imagine, like you said, if they did that and then he, you know, doesn't happen, pulls out, drug test, you know, DUI, whatever, another. And then like you said, your co-main event's a cool co-main event, like Sean Strickland versus Kaio or you know, Imamov, which Imamov coming off a win, like that's a really good fight, but like that's not the main event for a White House card, you know. And you got Kayla and you got Amanda, you got G, you got Dern. But it's wild that it's that's it for every White House now. I'm gonna just say you and Dern. It's happening, G. I'm just throwing it out there from now on. So
Just make us
Ray
the main
Roberts goes,
event.
if John Jones is not in jail, he'll pardon him. That's a good one. That's a good one. I just don't know if he can show up. I just don't know if you want to put maybe the most important card in UFC history with John Jones connected. I just don't know if you can.
No, I don't think you can. Like I said, I just don't think the name's reliable. Like you said, you brought it up earlier too. Conor McGregor, just unreliable.
Yeah.
Actually, another name that I just thought would not for the main event, but probably going to end up on the card. Michael Chandler would be good for the card.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of those guys for sure. There's a lot of, you know, when you kind of think of fight in the UFC, you think of America and like, yeah, that's one. Like, I think him versus, I'm not even joking, him versus Grant Dawson's a great fight to be on the card. I really think that's a good one. For sure. I just, you know, Grant Dawson and Chandler right before Roberts and Dern. So there you go, Robertson and Dern. One last thing, G, we'll let you run. We got Chris Mixon coming on in a couple minutes. Absolutely fun, stacked show. This past weekend, no UFC, but we saw, I don't know if you saw any of it. DBX was in Miami. They had a heavyweight champion. Brian Battle fought on the card, just being cut from the UFC. And then the next night, it was Misfit Boxing. Dylan Danis, 15-second submission. Tony Ferguson is a world professional boxing champion. I don't know. It is what it is. And then Darren Till just knocked out Luke Rockhold to the Shadow Realm. Any of that jumbles with you that you saw this weekend?
They also had CJI this weekend for the jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
nerds.
yes, you're right. 100%, which was Chael Sonnen, best 3 out of 5. How funny was that?
Chael Sonnen is the best. He was even posting something after saying how he's like, yeah, the trick for that submission is you're supposed to relax. So that's all I was doing.
Yeah. So good. So good.
I love him.
He's the best. It's funny. I'm like, whenever Chael Sonnen was fighting, I used to think, I was like, oh, I don't really like I don't like the way he talks. I think it's corny or whatever. Now I've fallen in love with it so much. I'm like, I think he fits that role absolutely perfectly.
Yeah.
But going back to the combat sport weekend, it was definitely somewhere all over the place. And I think we talked about it last week too. Dylan Danis always just blows my mind of how he stays relevant and how people are still talking about this dude. I'm like, the biggest thing he's done is get flying eagle stomped by Khabib, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. That's definitely always mind-blowing to me. Tony Ferguson, I'm happy he got a win. I'm finally happy to see him in the win column. And Darren Till looked clean.
Dude.
Like that knockout was nasty.
Gee, I'm stealing that from you. He looked so clean. And everyone forgets, dude, his run to the UFC World Championship fight against Tyron Woodley, which you know this with Dean Thomas and everything. When Woodley was in his prime, no one was beating Woodley. That man was an absolute monster. Darren Till, undefeated in the UFC all the way to Woodley, doesn't go his way. They kind of falters a couple times. He actually gets knocked out. He was beaten Masvidal. Everyone forgets this. That was the start of that Masvidal run. He was beaten Masvidal in Ireland or England, one of those, right? And Masvidal catches him, puts him out, and then he just kind of went downhill. Then his last loss was to Dricus Du Plessis, who everyone's like, oh, he lost to Dricus. He needs to leave. We also what Dricus has done since that. Like, Darren Till is an excellent fighter, mixed martial artist, or boxer, whatever you want to say. The guy's 4-0 since boxing. And he's like, like you said, he's knocking people out. He's beating people like nasty. And dude, Luke Rockhold's good. Luke Rockhold's a very skilled fighter.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, even I was trying to look it up there. I got back to here, but when he was in the UFC, he went on a very long win streak and then had 4 losses to all guys who were all in the top 10, top 15.
Yeah.
Now you brought up Masvidal, Dricus. The other 2 there I remember are very they're up there. They're big names like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to also think he's still only 33 years old.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He's still super young. He got such a short end of the stick in the UFC.
Yeah.
Just got shoved up to the top, lost to 4 really good people, and then got cut and just haven't seen him back. I don't know. I don't know if it's just motivation loss after that, or maybe he is making better money in boxing now where that seems like a better route. But I'm like, he still just had so much potential in the UFC that I felt like it was cut short.
I would have guessed that Darren Till was 45. I would have guessed that, how long his career is. And I said this to Leah early in the show, G, my perfect analogy is that imagine saying this to a teacher, whoever's a teacher out there. They work long hours. They work 6:30 to 3:30 for 9 straight months. And you're like, hey, a teacher makes $60,000. Then you say, hey, teacher, you could be a substitute teacher, work way less, 1 day a week, sometimes 2 days a week, and I'm going to triple your pay. That's what Darren Till is doing right now. Darren Till is making so much money outside the UFC. A little birdie told me how much he made for Misfits Boxing. Gee, it is ginormous. It is big, big money. And let's just be honest, it's boxing. It's he doesn't have to work on grapple. It doesn't have to work on wrestling. He looks like he's in great shape. I don't know how much they're testing over there either. But he's making great money, really good money.
No, that's if it's the better route for you financially and that is what you care about, then I'm all for it. Go chase it, do whatever. I'm for so many people, it is about chasing that goal, about proving you are the best. I'm that's where it is. I'm it's never been about the money for me. I'm it's always, if I got offered a bunch to do, I don't know, boxing, dirty boxing, whatever on the outside, I don't know if I would ever take those opportunities because it really is just about being the best mixed martial artist for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be brilliant, I think you're just in a different time. You're in the, peak prime, whatever you want to say. You're in this championship run. We've been saying about this for the last 9-12 months. I can't wait to see you fight Mackenzie Dern at the White House for the championship. Can't wait to see you fight next. Just throwing it out there one last time, G. L. Dawson and myself will be in Pensacola next weekend for Island Fights and then L. Grapple. And we can send the private jet. We got a room for you already. Just letting you know, G, whenever you want. We'll send the private jet to you.
I don't know. My initial fight date was earlier than this one now. So
Whoa!
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll call you after the show. I'll call you after the show. All right, guys.
Live.
I know we are live. The great Gillian the Savage Robertson, Canadian Zone. Hopefully fight in sometime in 2025. And then we'll fight Mackenzie Dern at the White House in 2026. G, appreciate you like always. You're the best.
Always good to see you guys.
Later.
Bye, girl.
The best. We love G.